Hey guys, so I just tried to stream this a minute ago, but I was having some streaming problems. Not that anybody was watching anyway, so I'm going to redo this. But um, basically, this is I'll go into the backstory of why I'm posting this video. So we have roughly 90-ish thousand accounts at my current job. I've been there a little over 2.5 years. And that's just one of our domains. We have there are four. There's a couple of different domains, but this is definitely our biggest and our most active. And anyways, long story longer, we sometimes have issues with people. We've had it's only twice I've seen this where we've had some really funky issues with people not being able to log in an account. Even if I change the password and I try to log in as them, it won't work. And then also some weird group policy issues, usually with the same account. Maybe they can sometimes log in, sometimes they can't. It's sort of this really funky thing that, it's not something as simple as like tracking down if there's a cell phone. It's, locking the machine out or something else. And like I said, this has only been two instances. We get lockouts all the time on accounts being that large. It's just there's like one consistent account. And, even if the user gives us permission and we know the password and we try to troubleshoot it, we see that issue and there's no other activity on that account but us. So sorry. So anyways, the issue, so there's a couple of different ways to fix this. Of course, you can just remove the account and recreate it, and that would fix it. But that's messy, especially if the account's been around for a number of years. I mean, these aren't necessarily brand new accounts. These could be accounts that are 5 years old, 10 years old. I mean, our the Active Directory can go back at least 10 years, and we have users that are I work in higher education, so we have people that have been there 30 years. Not that Active Directory is that old, but what I'm saying is we have lots of accounts, and they could be relatively old. So we don't like to recreate accounts. We don't have to. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of work that would have to go into whenever we do have to recreate an account. So we try to avoid that at all costs. I found this article, and I don't know the link to it, unfortunately, but it basically talked about resyncing. I'm going to just make this a little bigger. Resyncing just a single object within a domain. So you have to have a source domain controller. And then you push to the other domain controllers, and basically you're syncing the entire object. So with DFS, and I think this issue stems from the DFS versus FRS. So FRS, when you change something on the account, whether it be a password or an attribute or whatever, it synchronizes that whole object throughout the domain. So the plus side is, you get a fresh copy every time. The downside is it's, potentially, especially if you're, say, updating 1,000 accounts, then you've got to push, when you do that synchronization, it's going to synchronize all 1,000 accounts. Versus DFS, say you changed a property on them, say a company name or something, then and made that change with DFS, all it's going to do is update that attribute, or just that password. It's not going to update the entire object. It's not going to basically recopy in the object. So DFS is definitely more efficient in the sense that that it's using far less resources, bandwidth, you name it, to do this. But the downside is sometimes, and I think it's really rare, but that 99.999% of the time works fine, but that once in a blue moon time you just have that issue, and that's sometimes why I think computer accounts get out of sync too. I think everybody has dealt with the computer accounts, the lockout, where you try to log in and all of a sudden on a workstation it says the trust has been broken, and anyways, I think it's the same issue, but it's much more rare to see it on an actual user account, and I'm not sure why, but it is what it is. So PowerShell does have the ability to synchronize just a single object. So in this case, I'll break down the script a little bit, and we'll just break this out and this out. So really, what you can do is you can synchronize a single object. There's a sync 80 object, and then the object itself, and you want to give it the full DN, and then you'll give it a source domain controller. So I usually use the PDC emulator. It's usually the one that's giving you it's the most authoritative server in the domain. Not that AD has a single authoritative server, but it's the most authoritative server, I guess. Anyways, and then the destination. So if we wanted to, without running this without all the different pieces, I'm just going to copy it and throw it down here. So we could say DN. So let's get a DN of somebody. So let's say a get AD user, right? And we'll just do John. So now we can get to DN. So DN's a distinguished name. So that's where my account lives. So let's copy that. So we can just throw that right in here. And then source DC will be DC1, and since really we only have 2 DCs in this domain, we can say DC2. So what this is going to do is do a full copy of this object to that domain controller. Now, I've never tried to run this with a computer object. I bet it would work, but I don't know for sure. So anyways, you just run this command, and it takes a second or two, and then boom. So it has actually done a full copy of that object, in this case the John account, from DC1 to DC2. So being that we have 90-ish thousand accounts, I had to expand out the script a little bit and do it so it'll get all of our domain controllers. So that, of course, if we run get AD domain controller with the filter, we get all this stuff. So where are our domain controllers? So where's our domain controller? Domain controller. Where's the listed? So I should have a DC1 and a DC2 here somewhere. Anyways, so what I do is I do a domain controller filter, and then I do a for each. So this is just a simple loop. Then we're going to do our sync AD object. Oh, and host name, that's what we want. Where's the host name? Host name. So in this case, it'll be DC2. And close it out. So I actually do run this from there. So if I do this, it should, oh, I need the DN. So let's copy that in. Copy, and this way, and this will take, depending on how many domain controllers, with our 19 it takes about a minute or two to run. It's not super long, and so far this has actually seemed to work. I'm just going to clear this so we can see it, and there it is. So it's gone through and synced that object throughout the whole domain, and if there were multiple domain controllers, it would just run through, and every domain controller that wasn't DC1 basically would sync with. So that's it. So if you want to synchronize a single object, it is very possible. And you know what, since we've got this, let's see if we can do a computer, because now I'm curious. So let's do get AD computer, and I think we have PC1, right? There we go. So let's just run the sync, because I'm really just more curious if it'll run that. So let's steal this. Let's put this back over here. Well, let's steal this DN right here. And oops, let's go ahead and just put it in there. So I wonder if this would ever fix a trust. I don't know, next time I get a trust issue, I'm going to try it. Yeah, it looks like it's working. So you could probably do this for pretty much any type of, as long as you can get the OU. I mean, because it's just sync AD object and an object type. So you could probably sync groups or whatever. So if you have something that's not performing like you think it is, this is actually just a real quick and dirty way to do it. And then, you know, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it might be a problem that only shows itself every few days or every few hours or something. So then you just got to sort of be patient and see if it worked. But yeah, it looks like computer objects work too. So anyways, hope you found this video helpful, and let me know what you think. I'll try to wear something better than the white shirt. It's kind of a little old manish, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching, and hope to see you guys next time. Give me a thumbs up and give me a comment if what else you'd like to see. Thanks.